Social media is abuzz with speculation the end of the world is happening within the next 24 hours. What started as a sermon has turned into a TikTok trend, with people selling their cars and quitting their jobs in preparation for the end of times. It's called the rapture, and it's a belief held by some evangelical Christians that Jesus will return to earth, take the faithful to heaven with him, and everyone else will be left behind as the world ends. According to a South African pastor, it's happening on September 23rd or 24th, and his prediction has taken off online. And with how 2025 has gone so far, it's hardly surprising that some people are hoping for it to end. Hashtag Rapture Talk now has hundreds of thousands of posts from both believers and bemused onlookers. Some people have sold their cars, prepared their houses, and even quit their jobs ahead of the pending doom. One employee at the consulting firm KPMG even emailed their colleagues with a warning: the rapture is coming and only the ready Christians will survive. This prompted the firm to issue a response saying the content of that email does not reflect their values. This isn't the first time someone has predicted the end of the world, and we're all still here. So if you're watching this, it looks like the earth has lived to fight another day.
Alright, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory unto the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakahak Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone who rule well. Peace and salutation to the hopeful elect. This is your brother Ahmad Bayan, coming to you with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakahak Kodash. Now I did a video on this, not this particularly, but something similar, last night, and come back on and you're seeing more stuff, right, where today is the 23rd, right, today is the 23rd and of September, alright, tomorrow is the 24th, but we know we as the biblical people of the Lord, the Hebrew Israelites, right, the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native American Indians today, alright, those who are in this faith, who in this truth, who are following Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, alright, we know Salakia, that in this the ending of this month, the 30th, is the Day of Atonement, alright. They basically afflict your soul, right? You go on a 24-hour fast, alright. Where no water and no food is consumed on that day, alright. You repent and so forth, alright. So atonement, it means healing, alright. So that holy day is coming up, alright. That holy day is coming up, and that's right around the corner, alright. Alright, so that's September the 30th, alright. September the 30th. September the 30th. In the evening, it's starting from sundown to sundown, right, till October the 1st, right. But meanwhile, while these holy days are coming up and whatnot, Esau always has some sort of nonsense to basically keep our people away from their true power, alright, following in bullshit, alright, because this rapture thing here, which is like a trend right now, is really not what you think it is, alright. It's not what you think it is, because the word rapture just goes into a good feeling, Alright, that's all it goes into, you know. And the word rapture doesn't even exist in the Bible. Alright, it tells you nothing about that. But yet still our people, you know, they hear things and they just go with that. They just go with that notion. Alright? They just go with that notion. They hear something, sound good to the ears, you know, they just decide to say, well, you know, let's follow suit, let's follow with that. Alright? And you will see many of our people today being part of this. Alright? Because they you know, they are all getting caught up in that wind of doctrine. Alright, being tossed to and fro. This is the book of Ephesians chapter 4 and 14. It says that we henceforth be no more children tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine by the sight of men and cunning craftiness whereby they lie in wait to deceive. Alright? But they speak the truth in love, but speaking the truth in love may grow up into him in all things, which is the head, even Hamashiach. Alright? So, you know, basically don't be fooled by these different doctrines, these different things that people trust in and believing in, because these things is known as what? Fables, right? They're known as fables. Let's bear with my Baba Kusha. This is couple of scriptures here about fables. This is 1 Timothy 1 and 4. It says, neither give heed to fables and endless genealogies which minister questions, rather than godly edifying, which is in faith so do. Right? So don't give heed to these fables and whatnot, these different things that Esau has taught many of you all. You know, when you're coming back here,
that Jesus will return to earth, take,
you know, because this is another fable here. Alright, where this so-called white man is coming from the sky. You know, this pale man, alright, where this is actually called something called leprosy. Right? Leprosy. And this is a curse. Alright, and this is the same curse that came across on Cain when he slew his brother Abel. Alright? The Lord did what? The same thing that the Lord did to Miriam when Aaron and Miriam basically buck up against Moses, because Moses was seeing a woman from a different tribe. You know, she wasn't an Israelite. You know, Miriam and Aaron was against him for that. Alright? And the Lord had to intervene that time, where the Lord had to made an example out of the woman, Miriam, his sister. Alright? And Moses' sister, that is. And what he did, he basically put that leprous on her. You know, he took away her pigmentation. Alright? Alright, so I just want to get the scripture here for you all, you know, to show you all, you know, that this image that you people follow after, this so-called white man image, alright, that is, you know, that is a curse. Alright, there's a curse upon these people. That's just that's just as a mark that is left on them for you to know who is the wicked, who is these beasts of men, who is these people who's above right now. Alright? This is Numbers 12 and 1. You see into the headline, it says the murmuring of Miriam and Aaron. Alright, I just read through, I will kind of skip, alright, depending on how the spirit moves me. Alright, it says verse 1, it says, and Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman whom he has married, for he had married an Ethiopian woman. And they said, has the Lord Yahweh indeed spoken only by Moses? Alright, they're asking a question here. Has he not spoken also by us? And the Lord Yahweh heard it. It says, now the man Moses was very meek. Alright, and this is how we as the men of the Lord are to be, also meek, right? Above all men which were upon the face of the earth. Alright? And the Lord Yahweh spake suddenly unto Moses, and unto Aaron, and unto Miriam, come out ye three unto the tabernacle of the congregation, and they three came out. And the Lord Yahweh came down in the pillar of the cloud, alright? And that is what? That is the cloud represents the you call it again, the cloud is basically the chariots of the Lord, right? And the pillar, alright, I will go to the pillar first, select here. And the pillar is basically like the tractor beam. You know how you will see it on some of these movies and whatnot, or some of these sightings, these so-called UFOs sightings that you see, you know, which they are chariots of the Lord. They are not UFOs. Alright, that's what Esau does call them. Alright, because he don't know. Alright, these pillars is basically like the light source, you know, the light, the beam, a light you see coming down like the tractor beam, you know. So it's basically like they saw a holographic, something like that they saw, right? Continue, it says, and stood in the door of the tabernacle, and called Aaron and Miriam, and they both came forth. And he said, Hear, now my words, if there be a prophet among you, I the Lord Yahweh will make myself known unto him in a vision, and will speak unto him in a dream. Alright? Because, you know, another way the Lord instilled your instruction into your mind. You know, when you go, you know, to have that scripture also speak about that. Alright? Verse 7, it says, my servant Moses is not so, who is faithful in all my house. With him will I speak with him will I speak mouth to mouth, even apparently, not in dark speeches, and in Salakia, and the similitude of the Lord Yahweh shall be whole, wherefore they were not afraid to speak against my servant Moses. And the anger of the Lord Yahweh was kindled against them. Alright, coming on to the part here. And he departed, and the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow, and Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous. Right? So this same image here,
The faithful.
the same image here that many of you all is be running after and believing and trusting in, thinking that all the people of the earth today look like this. Well, all the people, Salakia, all the people of the earth who look like this, you know, is they superior. No, they're not superior. Alright? There's a curse upon them. All right. Many of our people today look like them also. Why? Because when the Lord scattered us on the four corners of the earth, all right, during because we had sinned against Him, He put us in captivity. All right, He separated us from our families and whatnot. All right, that's why you will see certain people in a different country might resemble you, have a different, might have a slight resemblance like you and whatnot, because we scattered, among the heathens and so forth. All right. And what our people did, our people went on to these heathen women. All right. And they started to multiply. All right. Where, after generation after generation after generation, the children started to come out looking more and more like a heathen. All right. At first, it will look like a slight brown skin, a slight fair skin complexion, still have a little melanin in it in the children, and then those children now will have children with the same heathen people, whatever heathen that is. All right, and they're going to look more and more like them. All right, after generation, so forth. Right. So this image that many of these people looking forward to see, they believe in that rapture. All right, they believe in that rapture. That shit don't exist. Right. So continuing here, let's read it over again. Numbers 12 and 10, it says, and the Lord Salakia and the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous. And Aaron said unto Moses, alas, my Lord, I beseech thee, lay not the sin upon us, wherein we have done foolishly, and wherein we have sinned. Right? So you see what Aaron got scared. Aaron got scared, and when he realized what the Lord did to Miriam. All right? And he left her like that, I believe for 7 days. All right? It says, verse 12, it says, let her not be as one dead, of whom the flesh is half consumed, you see, when he cometh out of his mother's womb. And Moses cried unto the Lord Yahweh, saying, heal her now, O power, I beseech thee. And the Lord said unto Moses, if her father had but spit in her face, should she not be ashamed 7 days? Right? This is 7 days. Right? Let her be shut out from the camp 7 days, and after let her be received in again. So basically, in a nutshell,
Heaven with him.
Miriam is basically she was leprous for 7 days until her pigmentation came back after. Then she was received back into that camp, into the home, into the house, right? And that's just to show you that these people that is above right now, these Edomites, all right, these Caucasians, all right, the ones that come from the Caucasian mountains, hence the reason why they call them the Caucasian people, all right, they are not the people of the Lord, all right, they are not the true people of the Lord. They are the same people that whitewash the Bible, all right. They paint the images of their likeness, all right. You could get that in the book of I think it's First Maccabees 3. Let's see. Right. Yeah. First Maccabees 3 and verse 47. I'll start from. It says, "Then they fasted that day, and put on sackcloth, and cast ashes upon their heads, and rent their clothes, and laid open the book of the law," which is the Bible, "wherein the heathen has sought to paint the likeness of their images." Right? So they open the book of the Bible, and they basically rewrite stuff. They change things up, but they did things in a way where the Lord made them do it, while we were in captivity. Right? They Esau more do the heavy lifting. That's why when we go into the interliner and whatnot, you're gonna get the meaning of certain words and so forth. The Lord put the spirit on these devils to more or less go into stuff and to basically do the heavy lifting, basically, for us. So when we get woken back up, we will get the proper understanding of what's taking place, all right, and what's going on, all right, because basically everybody on this earth is basically like an instrument to the Lord, all right, and He will use every instrument according to His pleasure, all right. And right now He's using Esau to bring calamities on the earth, to bring division, to bring destruction, all right, to bring problems, to bring chaos, to bring a lot of deceivableness on the earth, all right. This is why so many people believe in this so-called rapture, all right. Now I have another video I want to show.
So y'all, look at this little gift I got. Look at this.
What they say, Rapture Eve 2025. See how freaking dotish Jake is? Jake just be all up in everything. Any and everything they just be in. Alright? Besides being in the truth.
Guy right here just gave it away because the rapture is coming, so he donated it.
And look at the guy who giving it away. Alright? A so-called black man. Alright? Well, a Jake. Alright, let's leave it like that. A Jake. Alright? And Jake and all believing in it. The next Jake, he don't believe in it. But he willingly taking the gifts. Alright? He willingly taking the gifts.
To me. So as you can see, this is a gift that I got because these are some people that believe that they may be raptured up. Now, this couple, they're not for sure. They don't really know for sure, but they're still getting rid of some of their stuff. They don't believe everybody in their family's going, so they contacted me. So I picked up, and he took me on a test drive for it because I was like, I don't know, do you need a special license to drive this? So he took me on a test drive on just to make sure I want it. So I told him, yes, I want it. I'll go back there and get that tomorrow. So he don't know if they're going to depart between 23rd and 25th. They don't for sure know if they're going or not. So it's a whole nother thing. It's a lot of logistics too. It's a lot of paperwork, a lot of documents.
And look at that, yeah? As I mentioned in the other video, the Lord basically put His spirit on a lot of these people who have stuff, people who more or less have resources, have certain things that they making money with and whatnot. These people believe in vain help and whatnot. They believe that this super white man coming from the sky, coming to rapture them up. Alright, coming to take them up. It have nothing like that. Alright. And that white man though, that so-called white man in the sky don't even exist. Alright. As we went in is a curse actually on these people. Alright. But anyway, the Lord basically putting His spirit on them, to get rid of stuff, to get rid of money and all these things. And what that is going to do with them now is going to bring them down even lower. Alright, poverty. Alright, poverty. As a lot of poverty is going to start to take place. Some people selling their homes. Some people giving away their money. Alright, This is a whole delusion. All right, a whole delusion. The Lord is the one that is blinding these people. Is the Lord? The Lord is the one. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is the one that deceiving these people. The scriptures talk about the deceiver and the deceiver are his. All right.
You got to realize once these people go up to heaven, they're done. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be worshiping their Jesus and God and Holy Spirit for the rest of their days. It's to eternity. So everything that's going on earth will be.
And this is something that some people also believe, that when you go up to the heaven, you're just basically bowing to the Lord and praising the Lord and whatnot. No, the Lord created spirits for different things. All right, He has the spirits that bow to Him every day. Everything that He does, they bow to Him and worship Him. All right, and say holy, holy. All right, and then it have those that are created to do certain things. All right, because when the kingdom, look, time is now 10:44. That's 1:44 right there. All right, right. So fast forwarding, these people who believe in these different type of things and whatnot, really and truly the Lord, when the Lord bring the new, the kingdom on earth here, because the kingdom is going to be on this earth. All right, and the kingdom is actually starting within you, within us. All right, we as the Israelites. All right, but I feel I will leave that for a different video. We'll do our next lesson on that. All right, basically based on what he just said there, right? And let's just go back to the topic real quick. Think I have our next video.
All right, y'all. I am flying during the rapture, potential rapture, Eastern Standard Time. We are going to be landing at 12:30 Eastern. The main reason I bought this flight is so that I'll be caught up before y'all who are on land. I'm going to be 30,000 feet in the air. When we get caught up, y'all going to go from the ground up. I'm going to be already in there. I'm going to save some space for my friends. Me and Liz going to be caught up first. Okay? The boys, we're going to hold a spot for our kids for the rapture, for we get the good seats at the buffet for the rolls and stuff.
And look at Jake. Jake, this, whether he gaslighting people or whatever the case may be, what he doing this video for. All right, it just showing you where our people mind are at right now. All right, and they believe in fables. They believe in wickedness. They believe in all kind of stories rather than the true gospel, where you see the men of the Lord out there preaching this gospel and warning you people of what is there to come. All right, Jake and all kind of nonsense, participating in every foolishness, and all these people who believe in and trusting in this rapture shit, right? They eating pork, they eating shrimps, they eating catfish, they eating shark, they eating all these abominable foods. They doing all kind of wickedness. They committing adulteries. All right, they doing all these things, but yet still all they think that all they have some sort of spot, or they could, or y'all could hold a spot for someone. You don't make these decisions. The Lord does make the decisions. All right, first to begin with. All right. You don't tell the Lord that, hey, you're holding a spot here for your son and whatnot. All right. Because when you go into the book of John, you know, the Lord say what? I choose you. You know, you haven't chosen me, but I have chosen you. Right? And the Lord never chose none of these people. Alright? The Jesus probably choose them, but you know, the Jesus is Esau Edom, goes into Esau Edom because it goes back to Serapis Christos, and it also goes back to Cesare Borgia. Right? Go and look up that word Cesare Borgia. Alright, you're gonna see that's a Edomite. You're gonna see that's one of those small actors. Right? Them is the one that chosen all there to keep all away from all the true power. That's what they did. Alright? And right now the Lord is angry. And the Lord is going to hey, the scriptures say I will choose their delusions. Hey, Chawada Yobashimi Oshai. Alright, this is Isaiah 66:4. It says, I also will choose their delusions and will bring their fears upon them, because when I called, none did answer. When I spake, they did not hear. But they did evil before my eyes, and choose that in which I delighted not. Right? So this is these people are going to they're going to get slaughtered. You know, they're all going to realize that, wait, you know, that guy there, he's going to realize that he took the flight, he never get so-called raptured up. Alright, he end up reaching wherever he had to reach. Alright, and many days go past, and you know, you're gonna find him homeless somewhere. Something gonna happen. Alright, but anyway, you know, it's just something to look at, that to see how delusional people out there does be. Alright, so I will end it there. Alright, Lord willing, this lesson here was edifying, you know, to the elect of Israel. And with that, on to the next one. Shalom.